So here we are with question 13, and we've been given this diagram here which shows the flight of an aircraft as it goes from A to B, and I need to apologise because as I prepared this paper, B didn't come out in the printing, so it's the end of the line there. So the first thing we've got to do, we've got to realise we've got a scale here of 1 centimetre is 50 kilometres, and the aircraft takes 25 minutes to travel from A to B. So we've got to use this figure to determine the magnitude of the average velocity of the aircraft as it travels from A to B. And of course what we need to realise there is that the velocity is the rate of change of displacement. And of course the displacement is from where it starts at A to where it finishes at B in a straight line. So if you were to take your ruler out and you measure this distance here, that will come out as being 5.4 centimetres, about a millimetre either way. So therefore my change in displacement is going to be the 5.4 centimetres multiplied by, well, 1 centimetre is 50 kilometres, and if we notice down here the answer is looking to be in metres per second, so I have to convert my kilometres into metres, so let's multiply that by 1,000, and we have to do a similar change of units with the time because it's saying 25 minutes, but again we want to say it in metres per second, so the time needs to be in seconds, so that gives me 25 minutes multiplied by 60 seconds, and that comes out at being 1,500 seconds. So now if I come into my beginning formula, my velocity is going to be equal to 5.4 times 50 times 10 to the 3 divided by 1,500, and that should come out at being 180 metres per second. Now on to part 2, saying without doing any calculations, explain why the average speed of the aircraft is not the same as the magnitude of its average velocity. And if we go back to our diagram, because the speed is the distance travelled, which would be this, and the velocity, per unit time, and the velocity is the displacement per unit time. So the explanation is that the distance is greater than the velocity. Now a lot of you wrote that the velocity is a vector and the distance is a scalar, which is true, but that's not a good reason to do that, because we could say that A is here and B is here, and it could have taken a straight line flight, and there of course the speed is identical to the velocity, but it was actually asking for the specifics of this particular diagram of why they're not the same, haven't got the same magnitudes, and it's because the distance is greater than the velocity.